I'm going to invite you to roll back 42 years with me to 1980 and the release of one of the greatest faith-based films in cinematic history. I'm talking, of course, about the Blues Brothers. And in the story, you recall, Jake and Elwood are on this mission to raise $5,000 to help a nun save an orphanage. Now, these are not do-gooders by nature. It's not in their character. But this time, they have vowed to do the right thing for the right reasons in the right way. And along the way, as the story unfolds, there are all sorts of forces trying to knock them off the game, trying to stop them, defeat them. And they never waver, not once. After all, they're on a mission from God. One of the comedic themes threaded throughout the movie is how stoic they are in this, how absolutely relentless and steadfast they are. No matter how much chaos is ensuing around them, no matter how much turmoil and stress and everything else that befalls upon them, they remain completely focused, calm, and centered with zero waver. They are, after all, on a mission from God. And aren't we all really? Isn't that what life is really all about? Aren't we all on a mission from God? So how is it that our faith so often wavers, that we struggle to find that footing, that we find ourselves caught up in the turmoil? I think the answer may be right before us. When we lose our focus, we lose our faith. When we lose our focus, we lose our faith. The purpose is clear. It's concise. The mission is not complex. It's not confusing or complicated. It's clear and concise. Jesus gives it to us again and again and again throughout the Gospels. Love one another as I have loved you. Feed my lambs, tend my sheep. Become the servant of all. Love God with your heart, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. The mission is before us and clear, but we get distracted. We get thrown for loops. We let the turmoil get to us. The fears and the anxieties, the busyness, the schedules, the conflicts in the world around us. And we get wrapped up in all of these things. When you think about it, how much of our energy, our time, our focus, our attention, our conversation do we give to all this stuff that isn't God's love for God's people? So much of it. And when we lose our focus, we lose our faith. It's inevitable. So Jesus calls us back. He calls us, his disciples, back. And he says, you know what? You got to stay focused. And you can't give up. And he gives us this story, this parable. It's, by the way, it's quite humorous, you know. Sometimes we look at these scriptures and we're so serious about them that we forget that Jesus was a funny guy sometimes, you know. He had a sense of humor, and he tells this ridiculous story, about this unjust judge and this relentless widow. And the upshot of it is that, look, at the end of the day, even this corrupt judge can be convinced to do the right thing if the people around him don't give up and just keep the focus. Keep the focus on the purpose. Keep the focus on the mission. So Timothy hears from Paul with this instruction, as we do, to believe it, to believe in that mission, to pray about it, to focus on it, to believe in it. And Paul writes to Timothy, look, you've heard this since you were an infant, from little on, consistently, again and again and again. It's in the scriptures. Believe it. Don't give up. But where do we really put our faith? See, we struggle because we put all of our attention on all this other stuff. And it's all stuff we don't believe in. We don't really believe. We don't really believe in all of it. What we believe in is the gospel. So Paul says to Timothy, put your faith in those scriptures. That's what you believe in, and don't ever stop. Be strong in and relentless in that faith. Keep our eye on the mission. Stay right there. Put our energy, our time, our focus right on that mission, because we want that steadfast faith that Jesus talks about. We all want it. We all want the peace, the tranquility, the calm, the centeredness, the joy that comes from having that type of faith. We all want it. But we lose track of it when we lose our focus. Stay centered. Stay centered in your prayer. Stay relentless on the mission. And may that faith, that deep, abiding faith in Christ's mission, rain down upon you. And may that deep, abiding faith in Christ's mission stir the heart within you. And may that deep, abiding faith in Christ's mission flow forth from you.